KG Astrology. I'm your host, KG Styles. I'm here to connect you with your passion and what you love. This is your report for the astrology highlights birthed at the time of the Sagittarius New Moon. I wanted to just mention that the archetypal energies that get constellated at any time, say in your birth chart or with this Sagittarius New Moon that I'll be covering, that how you respond is really how you get your results. It's not what's happening, it's how you respond. And the more tension there is, the more tension you feel personally, that indicates that there's a lot of spiritual work and potential for your own evolutionary growth as a soul. Rudolf Steiner, the spiritual scientist at the turn of the century, the 20th century, said that work of the initiate, the spiritual initiate, is to balance, integrate the opposites. So what you don't integrate and face within yourself, if there's things you're repressing inside yourself, any shadow elements, things you aren't expressing because you've got a judgment about that's not good or bad or whatever, then you project that. You meet that in your world. But if you're willing to bear with that tension and you undo that whole illusion of this separation within yourself and just realize, you know, as intense as it feels, that it's just conditioning. It's the way you're programmed to judge yourself, to judge the world. So you withdraw that projection, you withdraw that judgment, and you do the work of acceptance and love and seeing beyond the illusion of separation, us and them. So I think that has been the work we've been doing ever since we went into this Uranus square Pluto. And we're going to really begin to move out of this energy that's been constellated since Saturn went into Scorpio. Venus has now moved into, is this weekend, when I'm posting this, is moving into Sagittarius. And also Neptune is stationing direct. Neptune really is helping you develop your psychic sensitivities, your intuitive capacities. And, when it stations is when it's at its deepest. So this is, when you can feel the most confused. The reason you feel confused is because you're expanding as a spiritual being. Your consciousness is expanding. You're becoming more aware of things that have always been available, but they've been offline. Now all this is coming online and can feel confusing as you adjust to being able to have access to all this intuitive information. So just to give you a little bit of background before I get into the reading, that right now, you're doing your spiritual work. If you're integrating these, you have, bad feelings or whatever, negative emotions, accepting those, not judging yourself for having negative emotion, that is your spiritual work. You're no longer projecting that on the world, for the world to carry for you, doing us and them. You're realizing that, first and foremost, you're a spiritual being, and you're doing the work of bringing light into the darkness. And so that is your mission and your purpose, to love and be loved, first and foremost. And that's how you really enjoy your life, is through that mission. Okay, so I have cast a chart for the world, and I just wanted to cover some things. We do have this week coming up, November 18th, Sun will conjunct Saturn. The Sun represents your will, your life force energy. That's your divine essence, your spiritual essence, your presence. I think that's a good way to say it. That's your presence. That's how you experience yourself as a presence in the world. It's what animates your being. That's going to conjunct Saturn. So there's some serious work to be done here. And you're getting serious about what you want to actualize, what you want to put your will force on in the world. And I think, we've all been getting the Saturn in Scorpio. We've been getting down to the roots of it, getting to the truth of it. Scorpio is 8th house matters. So, really coming into our own empowerment. getting over the whole victim, being a martyr, that sort of thing. You're just getting over that whole dialogue you've been having with yourself, the game you've been playing. Okay, then on November 20th, Venus will square Neptune. Again, there is this, the negative side of this is that you feel a disappointment, a sense of loss or disappointment that in yourself, if you're integrating it, that's something you need to face inside yourself. It could be something you haven't been able to make real as far as your own personal love. You haven't met your own standard, and so you get it to do a self-correction here so that you come into alignment. That's what this opportunity is for you. We've already had the Venus conjunct Saturn, so you've really deepened your commitment to really enjoying your life, doing what is personally fulfilling for you. That has value. What is personally fulfilling for you is your commitment and is of greatest value to you. Then it blossoms from there. Then it grows from there. So, and then we have on the 21st, Mercury, and all these energies are actually building up to the Sagittarius New Moon. They're actually kind of informing the Sagittarius New Moon. This energy is actually going to be, is kind of helping to birth this new moon, this new creative potential that's coming in with the Sagittarius New Moon. So November 21st, Mercury sextiles Mars. So your mind, your conscious mind, is really supercharged. You are really driven to, to be manifesting, putting your desire, your energy, your action into manifesting these ideas that you have for yourself. There's a tremendous force that's going into the Sagittarius New Moon, where your mind and the moon, all these energies are coming on board at the time of this Sagittarius New Moon, which is exact on November 22nd at 4:32 a.m. Pacific. So if you looked at the world chart that I've cast, that's cast for the Greenwich Mean Time, which is the standard time for the whole collective on planet Earth. The chart, in the world chart, there's a stellium of planets at the midheaven. This is how you're recognized. This is your status in the world. This is how you want to be known in the world. It can be if you're married, or if you're a mother or a grandmother or a father or a grandfather. A lot of times this 10th house is about the mother, and its natural ruler is the Capricorn energy. So it really is a stable position. So there's a whole new birthing of energy that's happening at this new moon. That's, the stellium of energy involves Saturn, the Sun, Mercury, Venus, and, part of the energies are at the later degrees of Scorpio up in this midheaven, and part of them have already gone over into Sag, but they're all headed over into Sag. So, give it a little bit of time, and all these energies, they're going to be showing up in Sag. Because this energy is going to be playing itself out for the next 30 days. And so, we're going to have the next new moon in Capricorn, just at that time, Saturn is crossing over into Sag. So this is, you really get an indication of where you're headed, what the future holds for you. This is your higher vision. This is your future vision for yourself. You really can feel excited and enthusiastic. There are there's some square energy now. There are things you're going to need to let go of. As I said when I started, you're going to have to do, if you're into the spirituality and really realizing yourself as a spiritual being, there's internal work to do. That's Marianne Williamson in Return to Love. She said, the new frontier is internal. It's an internal frontier. that we're all on. That is the new horizon, where we're really doing the inner work, because that's what's called for. And that's what, if you've been doing the work of Saturn, it's all been this deep internal work that you've been called. Some of us are doing that more than others. It depends on if it's hitting you personally, where the energies are constellated, or you know someone, or in the world you're seeing this going on. I do want to mention that also on this world chart, the Pluto, Mars, they're moving apart now in Capricorn. Again, these energies, there we have Saturn again. There's this seriousness that's going on with this work. There's a regeneration, healing that's going on, bringing to the surface things that have been hidden. There's a lot of energy on that to bring everything out. And this is in the 11th house of the world chart. So either we're regenerating our relationships, our associations, specifically the community associations, or we're forming entirely new, allies, new environments that are going to support the spiritual being that we're really activating, getting activated now, and that we're realizing. We're attracting whole new environments for ourselves that are going to support the future vision we have for ourselves. So that's one of the things so you may see in the world, or in your own life, or the life of your friends, people you've been associated with, that there's a change up happening now. There's a regeneration, a moving forward movement with creating these new associations that are going to support who you are. There's going to be a real thrust. And I'll be putting up a YouTube about the coming 2015, what that means for you metaphysically, the prosperity. There's so much abundance and prosperity, much more stability, much more calm, steadiness in the coming year. And I'll post a YouTube and how to make the most of that. There are definitely, you want to be on the positive side of the vibration always. And that's one of the things I really always try to point things in a way that's positive, and how you can empower yourself, get the most out of the energies. And my thrust really is more as a metaphysical astrologer, a spiritual astrologer, a soul astrologer. That's really, there is a divine purpose for your life. There's a divine plan. From what I've seen and how I've worked, I feel your astrology chart with the transits, the progressions, that is the perfect map. That's God's plan for you. And you can come in alignment with the elements, and you can balance. You are not subject to some of these harsh, in previous astrology, there was not as much feeling that you could control and create your own life experience. Now we're coming into that new reality. This is a whole new vision about how you can do your life that has been birthed. But you have to take responsibility for what's showing up in your life and make adjustments internally for how you're running your energy, how you're integrating the energies within yourself. If you're balancing them out, you do not have to become subject to the lower side of the vibration of any aspect that's playing itself out. It can totally empower you. So that's the good news. So let's see what else we have. The ascendant is at 16 degrees Aquarius. Now this is a very potent. It is exactly opposing Jupiter. These are very powerful points symbolically. Just traditionally, these are midpoints to the usual, how we have the spring equinox, the summer equinox. Is that right? The spring equinox, the summer and winter solstice. So we also have these points that occur that are at these certain degrees that are at these certain times of the year, and these 2 points are exactly on these. And maybe I'll go into that in another video exactly what that is all about. But it's a very divine point. It is right now. It is in a T-square with moving into a T-square with Saturn. So there is a breaking apart that's possible. So you can release this old way this old paradigm, this old way of viewing things. The energies can get intense. The way through, as I've said before, is to just to accept the energies, to be with the energies, to be willing to feel the energies, and to release the energies, and they will integrate. It's just, you just surrender it, you let it go, and the energies will integrate. And this is spiritual work. You're doing it for yourself, and anything you do, since it's all connected, you are doing for the world, and it will really help to release the world karma, this world cause and effect that we've been playing out. We've been in this karmic cycle of good, we've been caught in the good, the bad, rather than seeing that good and bad are, you need both. Otherwise, there's no experience. So you've got to have the contrast in order to have an experience, a world experience, and to do the 3D experience. So with this, there's also a uplifting, enthusiastic fire trine that's beginning to form between this stellium of energy, specifically the Sun, Moon, Venus, and Sagittarius. As I said, Mercury's going to move on there, and on the 23rd, I think it is, of December, Saturn will move into Sagittarius and be a part of this grand fire trine with Aries, which is conjunct the South Node. So South Node is all about past cause, effect, drama, the past patterns. So this is an opportunity. Uranus is in there just breaking that stuff up. It's wanting to release that. It's wanting to, either you can revolutionize, you can create revolution, you can create these disruptive things in your actual environment, or you can go through it and go through the evolutionary transformation within yourself. So it's how you choose to do the energies. So these energies will be playing themselves out over the next 6 months, as I see it. I think between now and spring. And let's see, anything else that I'm seeing here? Oh, another thing, at this time, Mercury is square to Jupiter. It's conjunct Saturn, so it's also in that T-square with the ascendant on the world chart. The T-square with the ascendant in 16 degrees Aquarius, and opposing descendant, and which is near to Jupiter. Jupiter's a little bit off of exact with the descendant there in a Leo. Then also on November 25th, Chiron stations direct in Pisces. So there's been a lot of, especially it's been hitting you personally, there is a lot of inner wounding that is coming to the surface for healing. During its time, you've been able to look at the ways you've played into certain behaviors, certain things you've been doing, the ways you've been running your emotions specifically, because it's in Pisces. How you've been contributing, you've been able to get in there and realize how you're contributing to the ongoing wound, how you're helping it to continue, and you have to unplug from that. Now, when a planet goes direct, you begin to integrate the lesson, you begin to integrate the new awareness, and begin to experience the resolution and the healing benefits of having reviewed what you're doing, how you're contributing with your own emotions and your own previous ways that you've held these wounds, and you can release that now. You can let that go. So there's tremendous release and a new start. Always, the new moon is always a fresh new start, and it's in Sagittarius, which is Jupiter, and it's heralding this Saturn moving in there. So we're really, when Sag goes into Saturn, we're going to get serious. You're going to get serious about what you believe in, how you're programmed, because your beliefs are your programs. And as I see it, beliefs, this is something I will talk about later, beliefs are like training wheels. Until you have direct knowing, you have a belief. And the belief is like a training wheel so that you get guided. You know, it's kind of like a functional piece to help guide you, you know, through the day-to-day 3D reality of things. But then once you have a direct knowing, a direct intuitive knowing of what divine wants you to do, you don't have to go off belief anymore. You just directly know intuitively, this is what I'm supposed to do. You're not operating off a set of programs about believing, oh, this is the right thing for me to do. No, this is the wrong thing. You know, we're going to get out of the right-wrong paradigm and realize, you know, I mean, it's hard to explain, you know, how that works. You know, it's an experience. Let me put it that way. That's, you know, you have a direct experience of how it all works. So, well, those are the astrological highlights that I see happening at the Sagittarius New Moon. Thanks so much for joining me for this special forecast. I'll be back soon with another astrology forecast for you, so stay tuned. Some of the astrology I'll be looking at are the Saturn and Sagittarius cycle I spoke about that starts December 22nd, and the opportunities that will be available for each astrology sign during that time. As well, I'll look at the special spiritual significance of 2015 and how you can unlock the tremendous manifesting power that's available for you, available for everyone. I'll also preview the spring eclipse season with the third total eclipse in a rare tetrad series of total eclipses that began in 2014 and concludes in 2015. If you have astrology questions you'd like me to post a video about for our YouTube community, please post your questions below and I'd be happy to create a video to respond and answer to them. If you have want to I also wanted to announce that I will make a special holiday offer for you to join my 6-month coaching program for the new year. If you wanted an opportunity to work with me one-on-one, this is an opportunity that you may want to check out. So I wish you tremendous success and happiness always. You can subscribe to my community over at my website at kgstyles.com by clicking the on-screen link to receive updates and news that I only send out by email. So I wish you tremendous success and happiness always. Please leave your comments and questions. I always love hearing from you. And until next time, relax, enjoy your life, and stay connected. Much love. Till next time.